So an American pastor can pour syrup on a Bible and the people will sit in that church. An American pastor can get swallowed up in rumors of homosexuality and the people will say, we're with you, pastor. We love you. An American pastor can end up embroiled in multiple infidelity and adultery scandals. And his social media will only lose 6 people. 16 at the very, very most. An American pastor can, and the reason I'm using pastors is because this is supposed to be the highest representation of the Lord in the land. This is actually supposed to be the watchman on the walls in the Lord's nation. An American pastor can jump on stage with a firearm and begin to point it at the audience and click it and use it as his prop to discuss worship. And the people will sit in that church. An American pastor can kick the Bible across the stage and the people will stay in that church. An American pastor can marry a man and call him the first husband of the Greater Baptist Tabernacle, what have you, and the people will stay in that church. An American worship leader can grind his crotch in full stadiums and the people will continue to follow him and call him worshiper of the Lord. So you're saying that a man is behaving exactly like a secular artist, splashing his sweat in silver mesh tops on the thirsty women in the front. He's no different from the music stars. And then people will take that person and say, he perfectly meets all the descriptions of how God describes himself. And should anyone try to say there is a wide disconnect between these two things, immediately Americans will say, why are you becoming Judgy McJudge? You shouldn't judge people because you don't know their heart. And that's because Americans don't read the Bible enough to know that the Bible says that you don't need to know a person's heart because there's a better way to know who they are, and that's by their fruit. In fact, the verse says that you will know them by their fruit. And it also equates the fruit that a person produces outwardly and says that you will be able to see if it is good treasure that he's bringing out of this oh so mysterious heart, or evil treasure that he's bringing out of his heart. So then we don't need to know anyone's heart because the treasure and the fruit will easily tell us what that is. But people stay in these places because the people themselves are unrighteous. The people actually hate God, and God has said that many times. Nothing that I say here is of myself. I have so many notes to refer to, and I have a good memory for many of the things that the Lord has said. The Lord has said many times that America hates him, and therefore he counts the nation and its people his enemy. And so he says that America has shown him for his love. So he showed love, but America showed God dishonor. And this is by dishonoring what God honors. God honors life, but America will dishonor God by saying, for instance, that an abortion is a legality, and then further ensconce that legality in law and then say it is a health care right. And who's going to argue with health care? America will say that God is wrong to say that he doesn't want 2 men to be together in sexual intimacy or 2 women to be together in sexual intimacy. America will say that love is love and then legalize everything around that concept of love who you like and all love is equal. And by so doing, America has led the pack in redefining family values, in redefining societal values, in redefining sexual mores, in redefining what is moral and immoral. If God says something is immoral and then America legalizes it and says, but this is morality defined, the people in the nation, by and large, will either fall in line with that law, or if they do not subscribe to the law, they are not opposed to the law enough to align with God. They will say, well, as long as they don't try to force it on me, I feel that adults should do what they want to do. They